Hello, Nerd Dwellers, and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Backlot, the show that recreates famous movie and television locations inside of Minecraft for funsies. I'm your host, Jeff, and welcome back. Yes, okay, I know. Let's just get this out of the way. It's been about a year and a half since I've recorded an episode, but I got a little bored, and I couldn't quite figure out what I wanted to build. And then it dawned on me, this show's called Minecraft Backlot, and the one thing we don't have is a backlot. So we're building a backlot. Specifically the Warner Brothers backlot, because it's fitting. It's in the news, right? That's perfect. So let's go over what this series is going to be. Basically, like I said, we're going to be building the Warner Brothers backlot, and I'm going to try to do it as close to scale as possible. Where I'm at in the grand scheme of things, I also added some mods. We are way out here in the world. This is all of here's my Hill Valley Clock Tower, Ghostbusters, Firehouse, Cheers, Home Alone, Jersey Shore House. So this is where we've been building everything. Amityville, all that stuff. Oops, spoilers for a couple things that I have planned to build. Don't look at that. Don't look up there. Don't look up there. So what we're doing is, this is what the series has been. This is all the stuff that we have built over the years, Camp Crystal Lake. And what I decided to do is we're going to build, like I said, Warner Brothers. And I did some pre-planning to figure out how big this thing is going to be. Now, for those of you who don't know, the Warner Brothers backlot is made up of a crap ton of sound stages and then an actual backlot type section of a lot of famous TV shows, a lot of movies have filmed there over the years, over the last 100 years, and we are going to recreate all of that. And it's going to take some time. You can see on this screen right now, this is the actual Warner Brothers Studio map. This is the official map layout. It's to scale in whatever their system is. But this is everything. All those green boxes are all the sound stages. And if you look on the right-hand side over there, you can kind of see like some fake city streets, some more office buildings, all that sort of stuff. I want to build as much of this as possible. Now we're not going to go super detailed. Like the office buildings aren't going to have all the offices in it because I don't frankly know what's inside there, but we are going to just try to at least build all of the structures themselves. And of course the city backlot portions, we're going to try to recreate those as much as possible. So how are we going to do this? Now, the beauty is that Warner Brothers rents these sound stages out, and they actually have all the information for the scale or the size of the sound stages on a website that you can view. Actually, I have that website. Hold on. So here's the website that is available for anybody to access. And this actually goes into every single soundstage. And it gives you their square footage, the size, the height, all the extra stuff like what it includes, dressing rooms, blah, blah, blah. But this is every single soundstage on the Warner Brothers studio. And the beauty is that you can actually this is a blueprint of exactly what the soundstage includes. So as you can see, it gives us what's like where the doors are, like if there's stairs going up and down, where the actual big main door is. So basically what I'm saying is we're going to use all of this available information from Warner Brothers to recreate all the sound stages. Now, when it comes to the backlot, we're actually going to use this, which is mostly photographs, but it gives you still a good idea of what the different portions of the backlot looks like, and we can kind of go off of this for the building of it, and there's plenty of Google Map. I think there's a walkthrough of Google Maps and stuff. So we're gonna use this when we come to it. And that's all the stuff that, like I said, it's this portion all over here, which is actually a very small portion of the overall map. All of that exterior sets is all the way over here. All of this, now it's kind of confusing because this view we're actually flipped. The north is down here. I know I'm building this differently than the actual layout is in real life, but we're going to start here, which is all the way on the left-hand side. It's actually gate 2 of Warner Brothers. I figured that would be a good starting spot because it's kind of in the middle. We're going to focus on building, like I said, all of the sound stages first, and then we will deal with those later. There's going to be some time lapses. There'll be some episodes where it's just going to be watching me build, but I will try to always include the information of how large the sound stages are, what blocks by what blocks, as we go and as we build them. Now, about that, let me get onto this. I did some testing on here beforehand. Obviously, I started building the street, trying to figure out the exact scale that I wanted to do, because that's, it's tricky. That's where Minecraft is. That's the trick of trying to find it where it feels right to the player or allows us more detail. So what I did was the traditional scale, which is every every one block is about 3¼ feet. That was the scale that a lot of people recommended, and I'm like, okay, let's try that. So if we go in here, this feels right. This is actually one of the smaller sound stages, which, yeah, that's gonna be fun. But I liked just this feels right. If you go into like Google Street View and you try to plop yourself, because you can do that. You can look right where I'm at in Google Street View. This feels about right. I tested one where it's 2 feet per one block, but so this is that exact same building. This just feels huge, and it's not this big in real life. Like I said, this is one of the smaller sound stages on the Warner Brothers backlot. So it was between this, and this one just felt accurate. Yeah, we might be able to get a little more detail out of it, but I just didn't want to build like this door would need to be like this big. Like it feels wrong. It doesn't feel right. So 2 feet per one block compared to 3.28 feet per one block just felt more accurate. So this is the scale that we're going to go for. Now, I've gone through and I started converting the dimensions down to the blocks that we're going to need. So this soundstage 1, is actually 120 feet by 101 feet by 35 feet tall. So I converted it down roughly. We're going to be doing some rounding here and there. It's about 37 blocks. Go up here because you can see it. It's 37 blocks this way by 31 blocks this way by 11 blocks tall. And like I said, that just feels right. If you've ever actually been to Warner Brothers and you've been able to see next to one of the sound stages, they're big, they're very tall, and this is going to be a blast to build, but it's going to take some time. That's the one thing that I was kind of saying. But I have some mods installed now, as you can tell by the wonderful shaders and the sun. We're going to be using Axiom to kind of help with this whole structure. Now, I'm not going to do everything in this because truly, the whole point of this is that it's supposed to be building, but because of just the scale of this build, I wanted some extra help, but mostly going to be used for like copying and pasting or nudging things over if it ended up being built in just the wrong spot, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of adjusting needed in this entire build. So that's what most of Axiom will be used for, but I'm going to try to build much of this as I used to, which still used mods to, extend things out or up, but still in a way where it's not impractical for anyone who wants to follow along. So, with all of that in mind, one last thing to go over. As you can see, these lines, this is halfway. This is going back towards the bottom portion of the Warner Brothers lot. But this, on my estimation, this is about the width of it. This is one end of the lot. This is the other end of the lot. So it's all going to be in here, which, if you can see, comparing it to what we've built before, this one studio is going to be about the equivalent of all of this kind of crammed into each other. So it's the most ambitious yet. But with that in mind, let's just get down to some of the last little details that I figured out, and we will start building in the next episode. I kind of just wanted this to be an introductory. This, by the way, don't mind this, I'm building the parking ramp across the street from the sound stage. I just trying to learn the tools and figure out what we wanted to do. So the last and most important part is figuring out the texture that all these sound stages have. All of the sound stages are painted the same color, and it's kind of a tannish, peachish thing color, and I couldn't quite decide what I wanted to use, so I actually started building with some of the stuff. So as per usual, everything's going to be laid out using our normal just yarn, yellow, wool texture blocks, because I just like that. It's a lot easier. But this is what it's going to eventually look like. Now, yes, granted, I know I could build with this, but it's still just fun to plan things. So these were the three that I kind of found by going through everything in the in here, trying to see what just kind of worked best. And it really does depend upon what shader pack you have and what texture pack you have. I'm using kind of just a like a enhanced vanilla one. I didn't want to go too crazy. So this was the first one I had, and I'm like, I don't know, is that too tan? Then we had this one, but it's just too dirty. So this one's definitely out. And then I'm thinking about this one. And what I'll do is once we get it up here, I think we'll make the final decision. I'm leaning towards this one, but this is definitely a good contender because it just kind of has, I think, like this one's got the extra little dots of texture in it, and I'm not entirely sure if I like that, but we'll see. But so it's down to these two. Like I said, probably this one, but maybe that one. That's where we're going to be at. And like I said, so in the next episode, we're going to start working on it. It's going to be a time lapse. We're going to start trying to get through as many of these sound stages as possible. But it's going to take some time. It's going to be a lengthy series. And I really kind of hope y'all enjoy this, because this is going to kind of test me. I've never built anything accurately to scale. Like, it actually makes me like want to go back and redo the clock tower, which maybe someday we will do that, because I definitely improved some of my building skills since we have built this forever ago. This is the first thing we ever built, and it looks great, but it could use some help. And also, like, scaling is just a little off. I've been trying to slowly figure this all out as the years have gone by. Don't look at that. And maybe someday we'll come back to this and we'll revisit it and kind of give it an HD makeover. Let's go back over here. You can see, like, we are a ways out here, and the plan is these roads will eventually connect to this one. I just wanted to have enough distance, and I do still want to go back and fill in some of these other gaps that we have for other homes. I just needed a break from doing the same thing. I'm tired of building homes, basically, but we will get back to that someday. So with all of that said and done, that is the end of this episode. Again, it's kind of a shorter one, but I just wanted to give you guys an introduction to what everything's going to be, so that way you know what to expect going forward. And obviously, if you guys have any questions or have any suggestions or comments, please let me know. We'll happily go back and we can tweak things, make them look a little different, or refine this. I'm making it up as I go, but I think this will be a very enjoyable, different build. So with that in mind, that's all for today. I'll check you guys out later, and I still don't have a sign off for this show. It's something I probably should figure out. I've also been saying that for the last 10 years, so